Imagine hitting the Earth's atmosphere at 25,000 miles per hour, generating temperatures twice as hot as molten lava. This is the brutal reality for the Artemis II crew. To survive this hellish descent, NASA spent $20 billion engineering a thermal shield designed to char away just to keep the astronauts alive.
Astronaut Jeremy Hansen, to the flight dynamics folks and the guidance, navigation, and control officer. The RTC-3 burn that was conducted just over 2 hours ago, which was basically a final fine-tuning of the trajectory of integrity to hit the sweet spot in the corridor over the Pacific Ocean for entry interface, was so perfect that we are dead on the center line down the corridor.
The story of Orion's survival doesn't begin at the edge of the atmosphere. It begins in the clean rooms of the Michoud Assembly Facility in New Orleans.
And a good configuration system-wide for the recovery teams to begin to approach the vehicle to erect that inflatable raft.
2 minutes to CM RCS warm-up hot fire.
We're ready.
That call from spacecraft communicator Jackie Mahaffey indicating that we're 2 minutes away from a quick burst.
For decades, spacecraft were built using thousands of individual rivets, each one a potential point of failure. But for Orion, NASA moved to a process called friction stir welding. This isn't your grandfather's welding. It uses a rapidly rotating tool to soften and stir aluminum lithium alloy panels together at a molecular level.
And as predicted, we've entered our communications blackout. This will be a 6-minute blackout period. No voice, no data from the crew. 30 seconds away from the anticipated point of peak heating on the vehicle, where temperatures will rise to about 4,000 to 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the true test of our trajectory.
The physics of their return journey is where the $20 billion investment truly faces its test. When a spacecraft returns from the International Space Station, it is traveling at roughly 17,500 miles per hour. That is fast, but it is a low-energy return. When the Artemis II crew aims back toward Earth, they are coming from the lunar vicinity, falling down Earth's gravity well at 25,000 miles per hour. At these speeds, the kinetic energy isn't just higher, it is exponential. The air molecules in front of the capsule don't have time to move out of the way. Instead, they're compressed so violently that they turn into a superheated plasma, a glowing sheath of electrified gas that reaches temperatures of 5,000 degrees Fahrenheit.
Your trajectory is nominal and your recovery teams have visual.
Guidance looks good.
No action for the enabled internal camera controller fail.
Big cheers from the viewing room here in Mission Control as voice communication reestablished with Commander Reed Wiseman.
If the Orion were to fly a traditional straight-in re-entry at these speeds, the heat would eventually soak through even the best shielding, and the G-forces would be high enough to cause internal injuries to the crew. To solve this, NASA's guidance and navigation engineers developed the skip entry. This is a masterpiece of orbital mechanics. As the Orion hits the entry interface at 400,000 feet, the flight computers, redundant systems running on radiation-hardened processors, execute a
Once the Orion is flying solo, it is essentially a blunt-body aircraft. It has no wings, but it has 24 Reaction Control System, or RCS, thrusters. These thrusters are the only thing keeping the crew from certain death. If the capsule hits the atmosphere sideways or nose first, it will tumble and disintegrate instantly. The RCS engines fire in short, millisecond-long pulses to keep the heat shield perfectly oriented. This orientation is guided by an inertial measurement unit, or IMU, that tracks the ship's position in 3D space with incredible accuracy.
Integrity, cabin pressure indicator.
Integrity about to complete a journey spanning 694,481 miles from its launch from the Kennedy Space Center back on April 1st, and a trip around the moon.
Each of these main parachutes is 116 feet in diameter, large enough to cover a football field. They are made of a specialized weave that can withstand the shock load of suddenly catching the air at hundreds of miles per hour. The deployment is handled in stages using a process called reefing. Instead of opening all at once, which would snap the lines, the chutes open partially, wait for the speed to drop, and then open fully. The final seconds of the $20 billion mission take place in the water.
Splashdown confirmed.
Copy splashdown, waiting on VLDR.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time. From the pages of Jules Verne to a modern-day mission to the moon, a new chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth. The unofficial splashdown time, 7:07 and 47 seconds p.m. Central Time. We'll get that refined for you. That would put the end of the mission at a mission elapsed time of 9 days, 1 hour, 31 minutes, 35 seconds.
Above the crew, 5 massive uprighting bags inflate. These orange spheres ensure that even if the capsule hits the water and flips upside down, it will immediately bob back to a stable 1 position, so the astronauts aren't hanging upside down in their straps. Waiting just a few miles away is a U.S. Navy recovery ship, usually a San Antonio-class amphibious transport dock.
We have you the same. We'll meet you over in post-landing.
The recovery of the Orion is a highly choreographed dance between NASA and the Navy. Divers in small Zodiac boats approach the capsule first to inspect it for any hazardous fuel leaks from the RCS thrusters. Once the all clear is given, they attach a tow line.
You can see now that side hatch is open. One of the Navy personnel is about to get inside there.
That will enable the crew to be extracted one by one onto the raft, have a moment or two to get their land legs back before they're hoisted into 2 hovering Navy helicopters, 2 crew members for each helicopter, for a short flight back to the deck of the USS John P. Murtha. Once again here in Mission Control, this view of the Artemis Flight Control Room, known as the White Flight Control Room. This is the old shuttle flight control room. We are expecting the other crew members momentarily to be extracted. We now have 2 crew members out. Crew member number 3 now out. And now standing by for the commander, Reed Wiseman, who will be last out of his ship.
Unlike the Apollo missions, where a crane lifted the capsule out of the water, the Navy now uses a wet recovery method.
This is Mission Control Houston, with the crew members now beginning to be hoisted aboard the Navy helicopters. Let's go to Megan Cruz aboard the USS John P. Murtha, who will take it from here.
Hearing them begin to hover on the flight deck, which is just across from us, here on the bow. The first helicopter coming in. And wheels down. Wheels down of the first helicopter, carrying 2 of our Artemis II crew. Pilot Victor Glover and Mission Specialist Christina Cook. Second helicopter. Making it.
The ship floods its own internal well deck, lowering the back of the ship into the ocean. The Orion is winched directly into the belly of the ship while it is still floating. This method is much safer for the crew and protects the $20 billion spacecraft from being damaged by the swaying of a crane in the open sea.